Welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Coming up on today's news, new modular homes are going into the North Collinwood neighborhood. And then TV20 is there as Fair Housing Month comes to a close. And then a new football field is coming to the Collinwood Athletic Complex, courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. And later, some local senior citizens enjoyed a pancake breakfast with some Cleveland police officers. But first, new changes are coming to Cleveland Hopkins International Airport.
Through extensive, focused efforts in developing this plan, that spirit of evolution has taken a new form and will from this moment forward be referred to as a Clevolution, a bold departure from the Cleveland Hopkins we know today.
That was Port Control Director Brian Francis speaking on the evolution of the master plan for Hopkins International Airport at a press conference announcing the changes and additions to the airport over the next 7 years. Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb said this investment in the airport is a big part of what he calls the Cleveland era.
For us to have a world-class city, we need a world-class airport. This is the Cleveland era. From this $2 billion investment in our airport to our $5 billion investment to make Cleveland a two-waterfront city, to our $100 million investment to turn 1,000 acres of vacant brownfield land into shovel-ready job sites for the future. This is Cleveland's time.
Director Francis says there's still some behind-the-scenes work to be done before travelers start seeing any action taking place at the airport.
What they'll see will not really start until 2026. There is still a lot of behind-the-scenes work that will need to happen across the balance of this year as we advance on the design for the gold lot, for the new garage, and also for the new head house. So the first physical signs of construction will occur in early 2026.
For more information on all the changes going on at the airport, visit itsaclevolution.com. Some new homes have been set in place in the North Collinwood neighborhood. Greater Cleveland Habitat for Humanity recently installed the first 3 of 10 modular homes on the corner of East 164th Street and Grovewood Avenue.
It's something I've been wanting to do a very, very long time, and today is the realization of all this work over these last several years to bring this about here, right here at this location. And so I want to thank the city administration. I thank my colleagues in city council for supporting my efforts to do this, but above all, I want to thank Habitat for Humanity, who really took the ball and ran when I proposed this modular concept to them years ago.
Giant industrial cranes put the modular home on its foundation in front of the excited crowd and onlookers. For more information on these homes, visit the Greater Cleveland Habitat for Humanity's website at clevelandhabitat.org. The MetroHealth Opportunity Center played host to this year's Fair Housing Month closing celebration, with housing experts and resources being brought straight into the community.
Each year, this month reminds us that access to safe, stable, and affordable housing is a right and not a privilege. In a city like Cleveland, where most residents rent their homes, fair housing protections are especially critical. Renters often face the greatest risks: discrimination, displacement, and inequity. That's why this work matters so much. We believe every Clevelander deserves the dignity of a home free of discrimination, safe from harm, and rooted in community. And that belief isn't just a slogan. It's the foundation of what we do every day in the Department of Community Development. Fair housing doesn't just live in City Hall, it lives in our neighborhoods, in our homes, and in our shared belief in justice and opportunity. As we close this month, let's carry that belief forward and keep working towards a Cleveland where everyone has a fair place to call home. Thank you all again.
April, the Fair Housing Month, which is the pass of the Fair Housing Act of 1968. So that is the main reason. But the most important reason is to bring people together, our residents, our community, our partners, our experts, the people that are not educated on fair housing, and bringing that education to them, making sure they're learning and bringing our passion to our job, because that's what we do.
Now, if you have any questions related to housing rights or security in Cleveland, you can get in touch with a support specialist by dialing the city's 311 hotline or by visiting clevelandohio.gov/311. Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb will be holding his next town hall meeting on Wednesday, May 14th at 6:30 p.m. at the Clara E. Westrop Elementary School located at 19101 Puritas Avenue. This is your chance to ask the mayor any city-related questions you may have. Now, if you can't make the meeting, TV20 has you covered. We will be live streaming Mayor Bibb's Town Hall meeting on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube channel. Head there now to subscribe so you can be alerted to when the meeting starts. The Cleveland Police held a 3-day hiring event here at City Hall, and TV20 cameras were there to bring you a look at what the day looked like.
So today we're down at City Hall for our Cleveland Police hiring event. It'll be from 8 to 1 today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So they'll be able to do their NTN testing, their physical assessment, as well as a preliminary background. So even if you didn't pre-register, you're more than welcome to walk in as well. Anyone that is wanting to take on this career, they're able to come on down. So if you're coming to the hiring event, make sure that you have your driver's license and you're dressed to complete the physical assessment. It's a rewarding job. I mean, you get to deal with the public, especially if you like community service. You get to engage with the community every day. So there's the retirement pay, medical, and then competitive pay as well. Once they complete everything here, they should be expected to start in August.
The Greater Cleveland Peace Officers Memorial Society will hold their 40th annual Police Memorial Commemoration the week of May 10th to the 17th. TV20 will be there to bring you coverage on several events, including the badge case ceremony, the Police Memorial Parade, and the Police Memorial Service. Stay tuned to TV20 and subscribe to the TV20 Cleveland YouTube channel for all of our coverage. We'll be right back with more TV20 news after this.
Are you looking to have a fun and exciting summer while making money at the same time? The City of Cleveland is looking for lifeguards to oversee our 42 pools across the city. And guess what? We will train you. Here's what you need to know. To be a lifeguard in the City of Cleveland, you must be 15 years of age, be able to swim 300 yards nonstop using front crawl and breaststroke, swim to the deepest end of the pool and retrieve a 10-pound object and return to the starting point on your back. Tread water for 2 minutes using legs only. Pass a written test 80% or better. For more information or to sign up to be a lifeguard, call your nearest rec center today.
Hi, I'm Pat Gannon, Big Brother and board member at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Cleveland.
And I'm Sam Nurse, Pat's little brother. Over 100 kids are waiting across Northeast Ohio for someone like you to volunteer with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Cleveland. They change lives by creating meaningful, one-to-one mentoring relationships between adults and kids in our community, just like me and Pat. Right now, there's a critical need for male mentors. Boys in our program are waiting for a positive role model. Just a few hours a month can make a lifetime difference.
I've been matched with Sam since 2021. When Sam and I first met, he was a bright, quiet kid with big dreams and an even bigger appetite for roller coasters. Today, he's a straight-A student, a varsity football lineman as a freshman, and almost as good as I am at video games. We've ridden some of the fastest roller coasters in the country together, but honestly, watching Sam grow has been the real thrill. If you've ever thought about getting involved, don't wait. Someone out there is waiting for you.
Big Brothers Big Sisters will provide the tools, training, and support to help you succeed. They work with volunteers, parents, and families to create relationships that defend, inspire, and empower the potential that lives within every kid. Volunteer to make a difference and be a positive role model to a child in need. To learn more, Visit bbbscle.org.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. I recently sat down with Cleveland's Consumer Affairs Manager John Mahoney to talk about what you need to know to stay protected when buying a used car. Well, springtime's here, and you probably got some money back from the government with your taxes, and maybe you're looking to buy a used car. What do you need to know to be safe? Joining me right now is John Mahoney, the Consumer Affairs Manager. John, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
What do we need to know? Some of us got some nice cash from the government. How do we stay safe? What should we know about some of this?
Right. So, you get that money and maybe you have a plan. You want to do some home improvements, you want to buy a vehicle, pay off some bills, whatever it is, you just want to make sure that you're not throwing that money away. So one of the big things that people get in the spring and with this money is a used car. So when you go to get a used car, the salesmen, they're salesmen. So you want to look at the vehicle very well. If you have the right mechanic that you use, ask, can my mechanic take a look at this? Because they can see how the transmission is, what's going on with the engine. They aren't necessarily going to tell you that at the dealership. They get it running, and sometimes they stop running a week later, a month later. Even if it's a year, and you've paid, $8,000 for this vehicle, you want to protect yourself. You want to look at the Kelly Blue Book value. You want to see what they're going for in the area, and make a trip or two there. Don't go just one time. Go and look and see what kind of vehicle it is. Check the mileage. You can always get those Carfax reports on the vehicle. Yes. Which can tell you.
Carfax is a really, really important tool that anyone can use, right?
Right. It'll tell you, about the maintenance history to some extent. If it's been in an accident, they'll send up cars from floods down in the South, from Louisiana and things. And yeah, it looks nice, but if it's been underwater for a week, there's a lot of issues.
Problems can arise.
Right, so you want to really see the best you can. You don't want to waste any of your money. You want to be careful about the down payment. When you talk to them about different, like financing or warranties, you need everything in writing. Because I spoke to someone recently who they got a card about a warranty, but there was no warranty.
Okay, so always get things in writing. That's key.
Right.
Nowadays, handshake deals just don't cut it anymore.
Right. Yeah, you got to be careful. Read everything you sign. Most used cars are as is, and it's pretty big on the window. It'll say this vehicle is as is. So whatever that condition is, you drive off the lot, they're not going to let you bring that back. Now, sometimes they will, but then you get another car that's kind of similar to that. So you really want to make sure you check them out. Some of the bigger dealerships have cars that have been checked out, 28-point inspections and things, and they're a little bit more money, but they have some kind of a warranty. Most of the used car lots in the city, they're not going to have any kind of warranty. So you need to protect yourself because you don't want to put a transmission in a car that you already paid for, another couple $1,000s. It's going to be really, really tough on you.
Is it okay to ask the salesman if you could have a third party inspect the car before you buy?
Definitely. And to me, if they balk at that, if they say, no, we can't do that, they really should be able to say, sure, who's your mechanic? And they can take the vehicle there. Maybe they don't want you to do it because they don't trust you necessarily, but they could have someone from their shop take it over to your mechanic. He can put it up on lift. He can check everything, see what the oil looks like and everything, because you're spending, people spend $5,000, maybe $20,000 on a used vehicle, and you want to check the mileage and everything. People are buying cars that are 9-10 years old with 150,000 miles on it, and I know you only have so much money, but you need to go into it knowing the pitfalls and things.
It's also important to recognize red flags. When talking to a dealer, like you said, they want to sell you a car, but understanding it can be intimidating going in and talking to even any dealer. It can recognizing those red flags to help keep you safe.
Right, and if you feel they're not answering your questions, there's plenty of other dealers out there, and you can do your homework before. You want a specific type of vehicle. You can see how much it's worth, what are they going for, used, and how many miles. So if you see the price is about the same, but it's twice the amount of miles, it's probably not worth that much. So you want to do that research, and some of the lots have their stuff online, their inventory online, so you can look at it before you even go in there.
Now, if someone felt they may have been scammed in buying a car, are there resources through the city that can help them out?
Yes, the Consumer Affairs Office, you can call us at 216-664 4529, which is our hotline. And you can go online and look at some of our flyers on buying used cars, hiring contractors and things. But if you have an issue, please give us a call if you're a Cleveland resident or if you're outside of Cleveland, but the business is in Cleveland. So we try to mediate things like the Better Business Bureau does. We work with the Better Business Bureau, the Attorney General's office. We'll work with state, like the BMV, to see, if there's some help they can give us as well. And we check the dealership to make sure they have their licensing and they're doing the right things to sell vehicles, because there's rules around that obviously for them as well.
Certainly, that's great. John, is there anything else before we leave that they should know about buying a used car?
Just whatever money you're going to spend with a contractor, check the contractor. You're going to pay off a bill, make sure it gets put on your account. Just be careful. Take a little more time and don't get ripped off. Give us a call if you have any questions. Okay. We're always here to help.
John, that's great information, and thank you so much for joining me and helping our consumers here in Cleveland stay safe. Appreciate that. City leaders, community stakeholders, and representatives of the Cleveland Browns recently broke ground for the new field at the Collinwood Athletic Complex, the 16th field in the city renovated by the Browns.
When we talk about our relationship with the field projects, it really truly started back in 2016 when Dee and Jimmy took over ownership of the Cleveland Browns. They took a look at what we could do that would be meaningful here in our local community, in our region, and they said that they knew if we put football fields in communities throughout Cleveland, that it not only would be a safe place for kids to learn and grow with the game, but it would be an outdoor classroom where kids can learn about teamwork, character building, they learn respect for their coaches, their parents, and it really just truly, they knew it would bring the community together on all facets and all levels.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the Cleveland Browns are doing today is giving this community a return on their investment and working closely to provide several thousands of families, mine included, that will be spending many weekends here watching Community League football and actually high school football.
Thank you to Community League. Thank you to all the players and all the organizations who helped make today possible. We just thank you. These are the times that in our neighborhoods that, we feel proud about, right? Also when our young people, we can have any moment to support them. And so today is one of those days.
Again, I'm honored to be here with my colleagues and all of you that are gathered here today, because this is what it's all about. It's about reinvesting in our neighborhoods, about improving the quality of life. And so when I look here and I look out, all the other projects that we're working on, a project right up the street with Councilman Harrison and myself, we're working on a project up the street, some of the other things we're doing here. We're going to be heavily engaged with the future of Collinwood High School, but the Browns made a statement today. It's about investing in the neighborhood.
We need to make sure we provide the right resources. They need the good quality fields. They need the partnerships as far as organizations. They need to be able to say there's no barrier for them to be successful. I too played football, and when I played football, that's the reason why I have the heart that I have today. That's the reason why I believe in making a change in the neighborhood. So major shout out to this partnership, this great collaboration. I look forward to working together with the Browns, working with CMSD, working with the city, Parks and Recreation, so we can continue to do this in all parts of the city, because this is a great day. Thank you so much.
A big thank you to the Cleveland Browns for their continued support of Cleveland's youth sports. Over the next couple of weeks, TV20 will be bringing you the Boys and Girls CMSD Senate League Baseball and Softball Championship games. Next Thursday, we will be live streaming the Girls Softball Championship game from historic League Park on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube channel. And then the week after that, we will be live streaming the Boys Baseball Championship game from Progressive Field. Subscribe to the TV20 Cleveland YouTube channel to be alerted to the start of these games. The first Thursday of May is traditionally known as the National Day of Prayer, and the City of Cleveland recognized it with a ceremony at the Rotunda of City Hall. Cleveland's Community Relations Director Angela Schuder-Woodson opened up the event by reading a proclamation from Mayor Justin Bibb.
And whereas the National Day of Prayer is a public law established in the United States Congress in 1952, approved by the joint resolution amended by Congress and President Reagan with Public Law 100-307 in 1988, affirming that it is essential for us as a nation to pray and direct the President of the United States to set aside and proclaim the first Thursday of May annually as a National Day of Prayer.
The event featured plenty of inspirational music.
So this is my story. This is my song. I'm praising my risen King and my Savior all the day long.
And it also featured numerous pastors and preachers as they prayed with the crowd and offer up their own inspirational messages.
Today we reestablish that authority, that everything that we bind on earth is also bound in heaven, and that which we loose on earth has already been loosed in heaven.
The 2025 National Day of Prayer was another uplifting, soul-shaking, faith-inspiring success, and its effects will be felt by everyone involved for a long time. There's more TV20 news still to come, so stay tuned.
Cleveland is more than a city. It's a collection of neighborhoods, each with its own heartbeat. From the corner store to the community centers, historic landmarks to hidden gems. Every ward has a story, and we're here to tell it. Meet the residents, explore the businesses, celebrate the culture, and feel the pride, one ward at a time. This is Welcome to Our Ward, where Cleveland is home. Only on TV20, our city, our story.
Hello, my name is John Mahoney. I am the manager of the City of Cleveland Office of Consumer Affairs. The Office of Consumer Affairs investigates consumer complaints. These include any purchase of a product or service you make, as long as you are a Cleveland resident or the complaint is about a business located in the City of Cleveland, Ohio. We will attempt to mediate an agreement between both parties to resolve the issue. However, we cannot guarantee an outcome in the consumer's favor. Consumer complaint categories include auto, repair and purchase, billing, home improvement contractors, mortgages, and retail. We have posted consumer educational flyers on the Office of Consumer Affairs page on the City of Cleveland website. We also collaborate with local, state, and federal partners who protect Clevelanders. Cleveland Department of Aging, the Better Business Bureau, Cuyahoga County Department of Consumer Affairs, the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland, the Ohio Attorney General, the Federal Trade Commission, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Feel free to contact us with any questions at 216-664-4529.
Hi, I'm Manny Hall, brand developer and owner of Manny Hall & Associates, and this is Ras Hassan, the neighborhood investment manager for Cleveland's Southeast Side. I've teamed up with the City of Cleveland and Greater Cleveland Community Credit Union to bring you an incredible opportunity, the Southeast Side Business Boot Camp. For too long, business owners on the Southeast Side have faced barriers to growth, especially when it comes to getting capital needed to start and expand their businesses. That's why I created this 6-week boot camp designed specifically for entrepreneurs who have the vision but need practical step-by-step support. We brought together some really great experts like Ashira Nielsen, Kelly C. Williams, Norlin Story, and more, covering topics from financial strategy, branding, marketing, AI, and business planning. The best part is completely free, thanks to our amazing partners.
This initiative is more than just a boot camp. It's part of a long-term promise to the Southeast Side. As the neighborhood investment manager for this region, I've seen firsthand how powerful local entrepreneurship can be when it's supported. This program is about creating access to relationships, resources, and capital that our community has been denied for too long. We're removing barriers, opening doors, and building something sustainable together.
If you've been waiting for the right time or the right opportunity to grow your business, this is it. Visit Eventbrite today and reserve your spot. Space is limited and the energy in the room will be powerful.
I look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Finally, the older adults of Cleveland's Hispanic Senior Center were invited out for a free breakfast get-together courtesy of the Cleveland Division of Police, 2nd District.
So as you guys can see, we have a party going on. We have the 2nd District police officers who was here this morning, and they were making pancakes, and they were making breakfast and serving orange juice for the seniors here today.
I connect with Commander, the 2nd District Commander, Tim Judd, in one of the meetings. He expressed himself. He said to me that he would like to do something for the seniors. 2 days later, I bring him to the Hispanic Senior Center, and we made this possible. He wants to bring something to the community, especially the Hispanic community.
And part of my goals when I took over here in November was to engage the Hispanic population, and that's what we've done. And this is just another example of that. I'm also a proud member of the Hispanic Police Officer Association. So we came here the other day, and how cool is this, where there's a group of seniors every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to noon, and they do everything from play bingo and games and yoga. That's easy to go hang out with them. And shoot, I want to be here. This is awesome. It's fun to be at. So we said, what can we do to engage the seniors? And we've done senior breakfasts across the city, and I said, why not do it here?
They represent our community. As a community for Cleveland and Puerto Rican, I believe it's most important for us to get together with the police all the time. Not right now, but all the time. We've been united, and it's a pleasure for us, for them to be here.
We are constantly uploading new content on our TV20 Cleveland YouTube page, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. You can also connect with TV20 Cleveland on your favorite social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X. Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Be sure to stay tuned for more on TV20. We are Cleveland.